Okay, welcome to Thursday's cooking class. This is for the 16th. Happy St. Patrick's Day for those that celebrated. Today we are going to tackle gnocchi, which is a potato dumpling. They're particularly done northern Italy and mostly southern Bavaria. They are light and fluffy, but they do have gluten. We're going to do ours with a cheesy rosé sauce, done with blue cheese or gorgonzola and Parmesan. We're also going to be making fresh made meatballs. So just a nice simple recipe. Pretty much anybody can do it. But let's get rolling. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, hi, welcome to Thursday. Tonight we're going to be doing a very simple savory meatball. Most of it you could do for any meatball application that you want. Sandwiches, getting meatballs, nice sugo. Today we're gonna throw it together and go heavy on the savory. So we're going to add in a lot of caramelized onions and roasted garlic, along with a healthy amount of Parmesan cheese. Very simple, very easy. The first thing you gotta end up doing is make sure that you have something that will roast. So I'm setting at 400 degrees.
It feels like you spawn this massive world, and you know you're not going to cover much of it.
My oven.
It's a bit hard to gear up.
If you have an air fryer, this is a secondary option that is very utilizable.
Look weird. I don't say the most is a favorite because I think Chinars is healthier for like long-term enjoyment of Daisy, but the Malsa is definitely what brought a lot of people to Daisy or back to it because it's like the perfect mix of not too big, not too small. You know, if you want to see some people and get into some engaging action or interaction, it's attainable, you know. And it's not super hard to get food and guns and shit, but it can be. It can be a really hard pour.
Now, with our...
So it just depends on the day. And
with our garlic, you're going to want to find the happy medium on these. I've chosen a small container that is roughly 4 inches by 4 inches. That way I can fit 3 complete bulbs of garlic inside of my container. I will chop the tops off all of my garlics. That way I expose all of them. I'm not going to peel any of these items.
Livonia has this thing like the early game and the mid-minute feels good.
Now I'm going to save the tops of the garlics because I still do need raw garlic in this recipe, not just roasted.
But you don't get as many consistent counters when you cross that middle border. That's just what it felt like.
Using a little bit of olive oil blend, go inside the bulbs and spill over the top of the bulbs.
So we do need to play more Livonia. I think, you know, I'm a little annoyed with
If anybody's familiar with a water bath, this is an oil bath.
I play a lot myself, and then the Livonia.
A lot of people that like to use the street well.
Oh, yeah. It's all conversation.
A lot of the times, I mean, I agree.
Okay, those are going into the oven. We're going to look for about 35-45 minutes. At this point, we've got plenty of time to get the rest of our items going and ready to roll.
He's like, dude, this fucking chili do be easy, and he's like, some shelter already. You got a time frame. You got the close solution.
Fresh ground beef, 1 yellow onion, chop the top off, chop sides off.
I think he's crazy. He'll probably win. Isn't he like undefeated?
Alright.
I'll lock the door.
As before, make sure your knives are nice and sharp.
I got a rifle. I'll cover you.
I'll make it fast.
We're going in for potentially a 1/4 inch dice. Just so that we know that there's something substantial with it.
Shit, he's not sick, but I am. I should have sent him some pills before he left.
As before, slice your onion in a V, working towards the stem and then back away from the stem. That way when you slice into your onion, you've got nice, even, diced onion. We are leaving the end of the stump.
This gun's damaged. That's the pioneer is. You'll enjoy that when
I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of butter. The pan itself is not on. No real reason for the pan to be on.
Some say level 20, some say you can go level 10. It's just, I think the game kind of scales to your level. What do you guys think? Can I go to the point lookout DLC right around level 10, or should I really make sure we're past level 20?
2 tablespoons of butter should be the width of the thickness.
You know, like challenging fights and stuff, you know. Actually use
Right now, make sure your pan gets turned on. I started high until I hear things sizzle.
We'll probably have a good time no matter what.
But
push it, there you go. Let's keep going down this line here so I don't lose you.
I do prefer to use a coarse sea salt,
I've been slow for the past 2 hours.
but when it comes to pasta,
Yeah, I get it, man. What do you need to do to stop that?
a nice kosher salt goes quite well.
Yeah, I got a backpack.
Yeah, let's focus.
You can measure items out in your hand as needed.
Time is up ahead usually.
Definitely not hot yet. Add your salt to your water.
Shall I get one of those pills?
I just got sick again.
How many you got?
One.
Oh, no, don't worry about it, man. It's probably not enough to fix out the rest, but give it to yourself. No, it's just.
Now I want to turn my pasta water on.
I'm like,
Get that all rolling.
you're red, dude.
You're gonna make it more than I will.
Okay, dude. Alright, please, give me the pill. Did you
Take your onions over to your meat and pan.
You tried to punch me, but you also took it during that punch? You ate it? What the fuck?
I saw the action. I saw action.
Good. It was all planned. Christmas themed server though, apparently. I don't know what it's called. It's like Christmas is tech that everybody's talking about. Apparently they got some some gimmicky, crazy thing going on that I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I might check that out. Chief.
I'm going to use my small container that I had my Parmesan cheese in earlier to catch a small amount of the onion. Got about
Where's he?
maybe a quarter of that onion. Now, we're going to go back into our... Kind of use your fingertips. Yes, it's going to be a little hot. Spread the onions out on the top. You don't want to put your palm down onto a fresh out of the pan handful of super hot onions. Definitely not the plan of things to do.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what the feeling of it's going to be. Like in the Halloween server, it felt like we could try to be...
Just kind of pinch it all together a little bit by a little bit. We're going to work our way in and work our way down to the bottom. Break the eggs up, break the Parmesan. If you have any little clumps that came out of the container, you want to work your way through the entirety of the meatball.
I gotta see what it's like.
Break any of the rest of the... We're not bringing it together yet. We're stirring it in slowly.
See a different angle.
It's gas stove.
Do you want to warm yourself up with that thing? Well, do you want to warm yourself up with the stove?
Sure.
Now, at this time, it'll probably start telling you what it's going to be needing. Your meat mixture.
Sometimes you lay prone to your hot.
I've got a little bit of onions, some of the... I've got some of the onions and the seasonings and bits of the breadcrumbs all stuck to my fingers. It's telling me that it's got some pretty good moisture to it.
How much water you got?
Digging down to the very bottom,
Okay.
looking for any pieces that haven't been incorporated in. Just dig your fingers in and kind of claw them back together.
Now we got purification data, so here, take these two. I got a stack of 10.
All right.
Yeah, let's just try. Yeah, let's hit the temp up a little. Oh, you dying right now? It's not going up.
No, I'm not dying.
Oh, okay. All right, cover me for 2 seconds. Be right back.
All right. We're going to take our
Check and see what the heat's up to.
meatball mix.
Thanks, $50 donation. So, wife and I are looking forward to your next fall 3 stream. Yo, it's definitely gonna be next session. We're gonna start with Daisy next stream and then get back in the fallout. And that might land on my birthday. I'm trying to do Point Lookout either on my birthday or from that day forward. We'll be going through the Point Lookout storyline. So that's probably gonna be as soon as we feel good about our level, we're gonna start the DLC. So
Now we are not going for baseball-sized meatballs,
we had good results from
but
thanks for $5.
2 inches across,
We got handled with a 69 months.
just about perfect.
Mad Dog, CDX, Lord Beamer, Nick, we got Shoe, Clemo, and Real Gross Heat. Anybody I missed, thanks for all support. We'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Some of them you may need to take some away. Some of them you may need to bring more to the party.
We got no visitors at beer field, huh?
Still have my pan on medium low from when I had the onions on there. Do not want them
Alright, let's move.
completely coated, or do not want them completely burning. So keep it on as low as possible for as long as possible. Pan should be nice and hot, giving it a nice little initial sear to the bottom of the meatballs. Like I said, some you'll need to take some out.
Oh yeah, try to roof. That's right, we have to let some dude, or at least one of the group members is on top of the roof of this main building here. I never figured out how to get on top of it, but there is a way.
What you're shooting for
It might be one of those things where I don't
is
want to
8 meatballs out of your 1 pound
Cool, maybe it's really risky to be up there. You're just
ground beef, pork, or
it's kinda fun to
lamb,
jump
or
up every once in a while.
whatever you wanted to utilize. But you want to try to get 8 meatballs so that you can share those with the others in your family.
Hot snakes. What's that?
Now, if you don't have 4 people in your family, feel free to
You gotta go again.
take extra meatballs for yourself,
This time, but you tell me.
We're good. We're good right now.
or take them for lunch. Meatballs do hold up quite well.
Turn to me. I try to avoid the hot snakes at all costs. Oh, we have fun cheap boss. This weekend's shit jokes. Down the line. Shit. Like, oh, almost killed me again.
Well, this time it's gonna happen.
I don't think you like that. Or did you lose a couple of frames? I think we've had like 100 frames drop, but it's not even a full percentage yet, so very few. I'm down in the cold as well. Yeah, well, I'm definitely gonna watch some of the fights later. Probably tune in sometime during the main card. That's what 22 bucks.
Okay, those with our
I was looking at it, sometimes I want to
air fryers,
play games instead, but it seems like
alternative cooking methods, whatnots. This is about the point when you need to start checking your garlic. You should be smelling it by now.
It's risky. You done?
No, I'm actually cool.
Alright.
We're going to take our meatball mixture.
I mean, if you need a fire, we can put the fire right now.
No, I'm good.
Like, the last-
We're going to sear it on all sides. Take a few minutes at least.
So it's not good. I don't want it to fire. Nothing. Right, what about
Are
it?
you shaking it?
Yeah, this is a shank there. Move them both to the rifle.
I'm checking the next section.
check on your garlic. Make sure everything's fine there. Now when we start getting our garlic ready to go, we've got two things that we're looking for. We're looking for a nice golden brown crust on top, and they will start to extrude themselves from the bulb. So you'll have garlic that will be pushing up out of the bulb itself. These guys here we're going to transfer onto a baking dish, either a pan that can go into your air fryer or a pan that can go into your these guys here these meatballs here we're gonna transfer onto a baking dish so that they can either go into your air fryer or they can go straight into your oven to finish out. Just wiggle them a little bit, they'll pop free. Come underneath. Find yourself an area where you can get a hold of them. Should be nice and golden brown.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we might have to get price soon, but I'm still good as well.
Hot grease to a pan. Now for our sauce itself,
That's me part of it.
I'm going to take a little bit of our pre-done marinara.
Somebody just got shredded.
I'm going to dab a little bit on each one. Not giant quantities. We're not using a whole bunch.
On some kind of quality research.
I'll stop here for a second.
I'm starting with the one on the right.
Alright, yeah, no, you're probably right. I remember what I see all these bodies leading up to the left one. You probably hit both. On the right side, one.
I'm going to take our garlic olive oil.
Might be multiple spread out here though.
Probably people that go here by themselves.
And we're going to drizzle it over each one of the meatballs. Little by little.
We could go scope around the right, maybe check that bunker. But,
Yeah. I got the scope. You got the good, like, close and mid-range, so why don't you leave from here and I'll back you up. I'll show this over here a little bit. Guys in front. No, guys in front.
Take our roasted garlic out.
Fall back. You kill him? Did you kill him? Run.
Take our roasted garlic out of our olive oil container.
Is it good?
And we're going to stick our meatballs in the oven.
Finish it.
All the good bits are taken out of the pan, left over from the meatballs because we want to start kind of from scratch. We've got it sitting about 3/4 of the way up on the heat. And at this point we're going to play with our garlic. One, two, three. Usually 3 pieces of paper towel will do this quite nicely. Grab a hold of the bottom of your garlic and where the roots would be, you want to pinch it. Pinch your garlic and it'll all start coming out.
I'm fucking dying, man.
hey, who's alive?
Me?
Now shut the fuck up.
Sometimes you'll find that they stick a little bit.
Hey, I'll fucking die here. I'm gonna put some damage in, son. I'll make you.
Save it for the compost.
No!
This adventure, my goal was to build a bridge hideout base under one of the most busiest area on this map. However, with only a few days before wipe and the strongest clans roaming around, I knew I had to be smart and stay hidden for as long as possible, while also dominating any.
Put some damage in, son.
Save it for the compost. And give it a little shake. Get the rest of your garlic out of there. There we go.
Well, everybody, we are back on another edition of the project today, man. What's going on today? There's only like a few days after life. And I actually have to make sure I'll be able to build and just some few things.
Now we can go two different ways. You can take your spatula and smash as much as you want. I like to utilize the knife. You do lose some on the cutting board, but take the back of the knife and smash the front to make a roasted garlic paste. Any of the larger outside areas that may be slightly overcooked, you can pull out. Alright, we've got a delightful roasted garlic paste now. All smashed up on our knife here. Pan should be nice and hot by now. We're going to take another 2 tablespoons of butter. Add it to your pan. Use your spatula to move it around constantly. Pull your heat back to about half. So you want it on medium. Take your roasted garlic oil. Nice teaspoon. And get that to light brown on our color. Now we've got our gnocchi. Gnocchi are small potato dumplings made with just regular potatoes, flour, and a little bit of baking soda, baking powder, sorry. These guys have a very nice, there we go, little ridge that comes to them. We will make them from scratch at a later point in time. Open your packages. Give them a squish so they break apart a little bit. Add them into your hot salted water. All right. We have a nice golden brown on our very nice golden brown on our butter. We're going to add our onions back, bring them back up to temperature. We're going to add our garlic in. Now, because the garlic is already cooked, we're not going to spend much time on it. We're going to go directly into our next steps. Reach down into your pan. Roughly stir them. They won't fall apart. Stir it as rough as you want, as long as the water stays in the pot. You're looking to break any of them apart that were stuck together. Looks like that'll do. Don't forget, your lid is very, very hot. Put your lid back on until the steam comes back to it. All right. Got nice brown to our butter and our garlic. We're going to open up our blue cheese. Blue cheese, gorgonzola cheese, a lot of the same families, different areas of the world. So you'll figure it out as you go along, what's a little different about them. Blue cheese is a touch firmer than a gorgonzola. Gorgonzolas are creamier. I'm going to go in with about 3/4 of the package. And I'm going to add in half of my milk. I've got 1 cup of milk set aside to start. I want to bring that up to a simmer and start incorporating everything in as we go. Slowly stirring, making sure nothing gets stuck to the bottom. The garlic is super sweet. The onions are super sweet. So that will counter our funk to our blue cheese. Alright, we'll add the rest of our blue cheese in. And you get stuck, just go ahead and thump the bottom up. It'll all come out. Now, as everybody realized, we did have 2 different types of cheese today. We had Parmesan in 2 different ways and blue cheese. Parmesan went into our meatballs that are in the oven at the moment. And it's also going to go into our pasta sauce to add to be a thickener. All right. We need to season our pasta sauce. We have a lot of cheese in there. Stay light with your salt. You can put way too much salt in something. Pepper. Vigorous amount. Very light amount of crushed red peppers. Not supposed to be a spicy sauce, but if you'd like that little tinge of heat, go for it. Nothing to stop you. Slowly stir until you bring it down. Start smashing any of the larger chunks of blue cheese that you see with your spatula. We're keeping it nice and soupy. You can see the bottom of the pan comes when I pull. So it is thick. It's just very, very hot. All right, take your tongs. Open your pasta back up. Give everybody a stir. All right. Now, to finish the color, because we're making a rosé sauce, I want you to take maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of the pre-made marinara. That's all we're looking for. Spin it around. But all we need is about 3 tablespoons. It's going to go pinkish orange on our sauce. Now, gnocchi is lovely because gnocchi is one of those Italian pastas that tells you when it's done. Take a small strainer. If you want to throw colander into your sink, feel free to. I find it's just as easy to get a little colander or to get a little strainer. And go directly into your pasta water. They float when they're done. Okay. Turn our pasta water off. That can go in the sink to get washed. Oh, feel free to go ahead and put your water lid back on. Open your open your Parmesan cheese right on up. Now, get back in here because you just added a lot of gluten. And we need to stir these lightly, carefully. Make sure that the blue cheese gets fully incorporated into everybody. We're going to thicken this. Making sure that nothing, whoa, that almost got me. Going to make sure that nothing is sticking to the bottom of our pan. Turn it down to nice and low. Because everything in this pan is fully cooked, fully hot. All right. Biggest pinch of Parmesan you can get your fingers around. All right, another big pinch. So probably have 3 full tablespoons in there as of right now of Parmesan cheese. As you can tell, she's pulling nicely. Fully thick. I don't think we're going to need the rest of our... And you see the color that we've got on there? It's about beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and turn this completely off. And get ready to start plating. Pull your meatballs out. I'll just set these over here because these are actually for something different. Beautiful. Gnocchi with fresh made meatballs. Take your spatula or spoon if you'd like to get another item out. Feel free. Take a few good scoops out. I'd say that's probably right about enough. Just a little mound. Go in, retrieve yourself 2 hearty little meatballs, whatever ones you like. Little extra Parmesan cheese. And that's all she wrote. You all enjoyed dinner. Don't forget, next week we're going to be doing a different recipe. Leave your comments in the bottom if what you'd like to do. If there's something special that you'd like to get into, feel free to let anybody know. We will be checking the comments. But we'll see you all very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming by. I hope everything is as glorious as it is. Fresh full reminder, when heating your gnocchi back up, it is always best to do it in a skillet. If you're going to take it to lunch tomorrow, feel free to put a splash of milk into it and stir it twice. So heat it up for about 30 seconds, stir it once, heat it up for about 30 seconds, stir it again, and then run it for another 30 seconds until it's fully heated. That will make you feel much better about it. But thanks for coming, and like, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified every time we put out a new class or recipe. There will be intermittent recipes that come out